You have probably asked yourself at some point in life, what's the point of all this? Why are we here? And mostly, we don't have an answer. But Albert Camus did. But his answer is a bit unexpected, and his answer is the philosophy of absurdism. So, what is absurdism, one might ask? It is basically the idea that we humans are always looking for some kind of meaning in life. But the universe is completely indifferent to our questions and thinking. We want answers, but there is none to be found. And that clash between our search for meaning and universe's silence is what Camus called absurd. We keep asking, why are we here? But according to Camus, we are not going to get any satisfying answers. And that's the absurd part. Wanting meaning from universe that's just not giving us one. Camus explained this with the story of Sisyphus. Sisyphus is punished by gods, and his punishment is to push a boulder up a mountain. But every time he gets it up to the top, the boulder just comes rolling back. And then he has to do it all over again, for eternity. This sounds pretty pointless, but that's kind of Camus' point. Life can feel like that sometimes, repetitive, and in the grand scheme of things, a little meaningless. But Camus doesn't think we should just give up because of this. Instead, he thinks we can recognize life's absurdity and actually find some freedom in it. Yes, the boulder is always going to roll back down, but you can always find meaning in pushing it. Camus thinks that once we accept the absurd, we have two options. We can either let it get to us and sink into despair, or we can revolt against it, choosing to keep going, living the life as fully as possible, even though you know the universe is not going to hand you any answers. It's like saying, okay, I know life is kind of meaningless, but I am still going to make most of it. And that's where the real freedom comes in. You are not stuck trying to find hidden meaning in everything. Instead, you create your own meaning through things you do, the people you care about, and the experiences you have. For Camus, once you accept that life does not have some built in meaning and there is no savior, you are free to make your own choices, create your own meaning, and become your savior yourself. And that's the real freedom. And just because life does not have an ultimate meaning does not mean you should not enjoy it. So, how does all this apply to our daily lives? Well, Camus is not saying that you should just stop caring or that life is pointless. It's more like if our life inherently does not have a meaning, that does not mean you cannot create one for yourself. Absurdism is kind of like a reminder that life might not make sense in the long run, but that does not mean it's not worth living. You get to decide what matters for you. In a world that feels more uncertain than ever, Camus' idea might actually help us deal with that. When things don't go according to our plan or when we feel overwhelmed by the chaos, absurdism kind of says, yes, that's life, and you are still here, so make most of it. And like Camus said, one must imagine Sisyphus happy, because it's the climb that makes it all worth it.